What's going on, world? Welcome to another episode of No More 9 to 5. Today we are going to get into a real spicy topic, something that I think a lot of us relationship doers could, take home. So we're going to get into that and a couple of other things on. And then, you ready?
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Oh my God, I've been gone for too long now.
I like that song.
Now it's time to bring it back. I forgot the rest of the words.
Man, shout out to the world, babe. How you been feeling in our absentee?
I have, not saying that the show was making me feel down, but I've been feeling really good,
Yeah.
Not really good, but better than I have been feeling lately.
Straight up. For our loyal listeners, you may have noticed that we've been a little MIA, but we don't call it No More 9 to 5 for nothing, and that shit don't happen overnight. So,
this is true.
Just been hustling, trying to get to the next step, really preoccupied with this and that, life betterment and everything like that, and taking advantage of the bad stuff going on in the world, but trying to make it work for us. You know how that goes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We started learning a little Espanol poquito.
Sí, señor.
Yeah, it's a work every day. But if you're not using, this time off, if you're at home or, just the new way of the world, I guess you can say, if you're not using that to your advantage to learn something new, to tackle something new, get on it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna judge you or nothing like that, but definitely, hey, hop on it. It's never too late.
What better time?
Right.
You know
what I'm saying? We definitely hopped on the Spanish, something else that I personally hopped on that I'm not quite ready to divulge, but you know what I'm saying? Stay tuned, you know what I'm saying? But how was your day, babe?
It was good. I feel like it was very productive. Really working hard to get this wedding together. Shout out to us. Getting married in 3 months.
There you go, 3 months. If y'all didn't know, obviously we've been together for like a long ass time. I'm talking about decades in the game. You feel me? And we taking that, we always been locked in, but we finally taking that step to, put it on paper.
Leap of faith.
You know what I'm saying? That's how the taxes work. So.
Get more money. Cha-ching,
right.
cha-ching.
So we got 3 months and the countdown is on. You know what I'm saying? Putting a little stuff together, but we've been blessed to have some really amazing people around us who've been, helping us just put the last couple of dominoes, and we ready to knock them bitches down.
Absolutely. It's all about on the way.
Bang, bang. Anywho, you can hear the music in the background. We play music from time to time, but we are playing Mr. August Alsina, and if that didn't quite give it away, today we are talking about his whole situation. Right. We're talking about his situation, period. Anybody who follows social media or, stays on top of it may know, but I'm going to touch on it real quick, and then we're going to hop right into it. So, August Alsina.
Rapper, singer.
Yeah, rapper.
Singer-rapper.
He doing whatever he doing.
Just in case you didn't know.
Right.
Not really on the scene right now for music.
For a lot of different reasons, he lost a lot of family members, ended up adopting his 3 nieces.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, straight up. So he's been at full
dad.
dad.
He has an illness.
Right. I think he got like lupus or something.
I don't know for sure.
Right.
But I know he has some kind of illness.
Right.
Yeah.
But so, he's just been taking a back burner, but still relevant, still doing his thing. But what he's relevant for as of lately, it's a little crazy. So he apparently was a big fan of Jada and Willow Smith, so much so that back in 2016 he went to one of their international shows, something that they was doing overseas, and met one Miss Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all love her.
You know what I'm saying?
Set it off.
Huge inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Red Table Talk.
Yeah.
Almost. I ain't
Ant
gonna say
movie. What's she in that?
the who movie?
The Ant movie.
Ants?
Yeah. That was called the Ant movie. Maybe I feel like she looked like one of them. Maybe she wasn't in it. Yeah. Sorry.
Good. I'll fact check. She might have been in that shit. I know
She's been in
J-Lo.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But so he met one Miss Jada Pinkett Smith, a huge inspiration doing her thing. Shout out Red Table Talk. You know what I'm saying? And actually invited him on. And so out of nowhere, they were super chummy. And at first, it seemed like maybe it's just this nice lady taking his, youth under her wing. He had like drug problems, like Xans and shit like that. And so it seemed almost like some just taking them under the wing, blah, blah, blah.
Very motherly, nurturing.
Right. But it turns out.
It was very nurturing.
You know what I'm saying? Nurturing a few other things. So it came out, or he made it very clear with the interview that he did with Angelique from the Breakfast Club. Shout out to Breakfast Club. He did an interview with her where he said that he devoted a good amount of time, close to like 3 or 4 years of his life, to a relationship.
Loved her.
Jada Pinkett Smith, the wife of one Mr. Will Smith, one of my personal idols, somebody I look up to for the hard work, the ethics, shit like that. But he said, and I quote, "I have been having an affair and devoted my love and life to this relationship, and I could die today and be happy." Word.
Yeah, I thought that's the part that stuck out in my mind. I was like, wow, that's some complete love.
Yeah, bro said, "I can die today happy knowing that I fully felt love and I know what real love is like." That shit crazy for somebody who's, in a whole relationship with kids and got a family.
A whole marriage.
Now, what I want to ask you, babe, first let me go ahead and finish up. So, he apparently was talking about how he was in this relationship with her. She was down. She helped him get the drugs in order. Helped him, with the new dad situation. Because that was, these kids was grown and living, and he just took on that responsibility. So I think she kind of admired that, if this does all come out to be true. But she admired that, and so they kind of got together. Now, my question for you, babe, is how many celebrities you think out here with the life partnership? That's what they call it. She went on record to say, we don't have a marriage, we have a life partnership.
Between Will and Jada? Right,
and I think they are officially married, like on paper, but life partnership. How many celebs you think, or just people period, do you think that's going on with?
In the celebrity world, probably quite a bit. Probably quite a bit. I mean, you think about it, when you're living that life, you meet so many different people. I'm not saying you don't meet a lot of people in regular life or normal life or whatever. But as a celebrity, I feel like you have more access to people, different people, and people you thought you never met, and people who goals align with yours, and all this stuff. So it's probably a lot. I do want to say also about August that he said that Will basically approved it. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. But then I heard on the radio today on the Big Tigger show, word up to Big Tig, that Will Smith rep came out today, and Jada Smith, I think her rep came out yesterday, was saying that this is completely false.
Right, completely false. Now, I expect that though, because again, we live in a traditional society. Being in America, you do stuff the way it's done. And granted, like you said, a lot of these celebs, they probably live in the same type of life, but they're not going to be super open in public because that allows other people to start making judgments about their lifestyle.
However, if you're gonna, we already expect that from you, of being a little, here and there, Will and Jada. One, you said this is a life partnership, which is all fine and dandy, but the fact that you go out your way to say life partnership and say a marriage, because they know that people, when they hear marriage, you think of sacred. Only us, that's what marriage means. It's me and you. Nobody else is in. You don't, But when you say, oh, this is a life partnership, I feel like that gives room for other things to happen. So if you're going to say that, and then like, nope, then what? Then deny. And then I remember being a kid, rumors, whatever, I think it was true, that Will and Jada were swingers.
I remember that shit too.
And that was the first time, I was like, what's a swinger? I think I was like in middle school, something like that, and I found out quickly. Yeah. But, so I feel like stuff like that has been circulating around them for years.
I remember that shit too.
And I don't think they're necessarily, to me, I didn't think they were trying to hide it or break away from it.
They just wasn't broadcasting it.
Right. So the fact that they're like, nope, that's not true, denying it, I'm kind of shocked.
Well, I'm not necessarily shocked because it is still a little taboo. Brad's like way younger than them. It is still room for people to put their nose in your business. And whether you care or not, it's still just a lot. And you got kids and everybody gonna start that. And then you gotta have these conversations with your kids. Now, granted, they kids seem woke as fuck. Yeah. They probably already knew what time it was.
Yeah.
But, So he was saying that they had a whole relationship. There was a clip that came out with Jada actually on Red Table Talk with Will saying how, you know, we can be married. Once we married. And I may be on this side of the house with, you know, this Joe Blow, and you may be on that side with that James Blow, but we're married. And to be honest, they both been rich for a long time, like celebs for a long time. So
separately too.
Right. That come with a lot of traveling, maybe doing a show in New Zealand or this and that. Honestly, and not to just say I'm so just ready and so bold as to adopt that lifestyle, but I'm not gonna kick it like I don't get it. Because in my opinion, especially for people like themselves who are moving around and may be apart from each other for a long time, I think that leaves room for shit to happen, period. So it's better to be open about it.
Understand it.
Right. And for me, especially with us on our journey moving forward, marriage to me don't mean nothing about sex. That's just an added part. We getting married because you my partner, you my teammate, like we locked in. And again, this is just my opinion. I definitely want you to speak on it too. But I feel like we locked in on way more ways than just sex. So I do feel like sex is just a physical thing, and it can be done with anybody who's willing and, you know, consents to it. That don't change the fact that you still my wife with my kids, and we raising up this legacy together and this brand together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, it's like, damn, but that boy was in love. Yeah,
he was in love. The fact that he said he can die.
Right.
And feel complete, like he was on a different kind of, you know.
Yeah, that's real.
Love,
and to be honest, bro, when you a young guy and you got like an older woman, that type of shit happens because, you know, women already to a degree are a little more mature than men. And so when you run into somebody like that who kind of give a little upgrade to your life, because he been open about her helping with the drugs and shit like that, and helping with his nieces or daughters now. So, you know, you can get super infatuated, like, damn, this person will save me.
Yeah.
You feel me?
It gets, once your heart gets into it, you know, your emotions. And I feel like that's why people say emotional cheating is worse than sexual cheating or whatever, physical cheating. Because once you get wrapped up in that, it's hard to let somebody go. Right. You know?
I actually started this conversation at work because I just wanted to pick a few more people's brains, because you know what we doing here, just starting a conversation for the people at home. But I couldn't wait. I had to figure out and just ask a few people. So I was hearing a lot of, well, and granted I asked a few more females than males, but I got a lot of response like, well, it may be that in the beginning it may be a physical thing, but then somebody always gonna catch feelings. How you feel about that?
What? That like an open relationship?
Well, no, that somebody is going to catch feelings. Like they were saying it kind of indefinitely, and I did not agree with that, because if you set those parameters on the front end, like, hey, this is what we're doing. I got this whole situation at home. This is a physical thing while we here. I don't think that it's gonna run into feelings. I feel like maybe eventually if you continue to do it, but at that point you kind of went left field anyway.
With Jada, Will, and August.
Alsina.
Well, August and Jada, rather. Right. In my mind, I don't think it started off physical at all. I think it started off emotional. In my mind, sure, physical stuff probably happened. I'm sure, in the beginning or whenever. But I think that it did start off emotional. So it was a wrap.
Yeah, and you know, it's crazy because like all this stuff resurfacing, all these old pictures and shit, and it's kind of like, but that shit was blatant, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a picture of them on a red carpet, he cuffed her up, like, you know what I'm saying, hand around the waist, and she is not fully.
I'm sure they had an understanding. True. And I think that's why it blows me that they're like, no, this is not true. Because I'm pretty sure it is. And then, in my thinking.
I think it's the same way on the other side. I think Will definitely got shit going on. Like, not to speculate or nothing, but like, you seen Focus with him and Margot Robbie.
Great movie.
They seem super locked in. Now, again, not to speculate, I don't know about Margot Robbie.
He's a great actor too.
Yeah, he know how to do it. But then you got Suicide.
Probably a method actor. You know what I mean?
True that. He got to live that life. True that. But then, also they did Suicide Squad, and it's just a different level of chemistry, you know? The way they act together, but then again, they could just be great actors. But
yeah, she's good.
I don't doubt none of this shit. And I was surprised like you to find that they denying it. Maybe because it kind of tarnished the brand. The same way like
I feel like people knew. I feel like nobody would have been surprised.
I mean, but even still, think about if they was like, yep, then it just opened up a whole new can of worms.
I feel like if they would have been like, yeah, you know, like if they did like a interview or something like that, or a statement, and was together, Will and Jada together, and was like, yeah, you know, Jada came to me, and was like, hey, blah, 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 this and that, this and that, this and that, then more people would have been like, yeah. One, people love Will Smith.
Right.
Point blank.
Yeah.
People love Jada.
I was gonna say people love
Point blank.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, but they love them. And I feel like we already knew what kind of relationship they have.
But at the same time, I think people love them. I think people love like, oh, look at this black love, look at this unity that they've been together for so long.
I don't feel like that.
Really?
I see them as two different people.
Absolutely.
You have some couples that's like chum chum chum. You know, I'm on you, you're on me, we're kissing, we're hugging, we're everywhere together. They live independent lives. Not saying they're not together, but they live independent lives, and so I feel like there's room for that.
Yeah.
They're not like who's a couple that's like, oh, like I would be surprised if Michelle and a Barack, I would be like, what? Y'all got an open relationship?
But even then, that's some presidential shit. Like, and then you remember when Will started popping on like IG and he was like everywhere, he was just posting hella shit and had his family around on like little vacation. Whenever they would interact, it did seem more chummy, more partnership. Which again, because when you've been together that long, I mean, we can attest to it to a degree. Like
we're not chummy like that.
Like we don't be, you know, exactly. It's times where. Like, we like homies, we locked in like boys, but then it's times where it's like, nah, this is my woman, and it's times where it's like, nah, that's my woman, you feel me? It's just different levels, and so they did display more of that, and it could be just because the amount of time they've been together. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, it don't be much kissing and all that extra shit like that.
Yeah, like how you may see some other, I can't even think because I'm sure some.
Because the chummy shit be going, you'll be chummy. Every celebrity, we be expecting it. They'd be chummy, it'd be all good, then they break up. But you think about a couple like them who've been down for so long.
They've been through some shit.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's why I feel like I'm just so surprised that they're like, deny. Because they've been through a lot of shit. Like with Will Smith's first ex-wife. Jada had to deal with shit with her. And, you know, so they've been doing some shit like this, you know. So I feel like, like it's cool. Like,
I mean, but you know, for shit to be coming out, it's just kind of crazy that they deny it, because then it make it seem like, ooh, what really was going down, and then what Will got going on, and what the kids got going on. You feel me? I'm
just shocked. I really am shocked that they're denying it, because I feel like, you know, they third eye open kind of people. They can do stuff like that. I
honestly feel like it's not that they necessarily. I think the PR is deny it, whereas and they like whatever.
They a rep said,
because, you know, it is what it is, bro. Like, we still live in a traditional society, and people gonna have their views, and they really are goals for a lot of people. Like, you know.
But I feel like if y'all are like that, if y'all are like that, maybe back then, when the whole like swingers thing came out, I can see like them. I don't even know if they denied it. Probably did back then. But you know, but now it's so much openness with stuff. This would be the time to be like, yeah, you got like whole TV shows where motherfuckers got 8 wives, and you got people who are not a boy or a girl. They're just living their lives. You know, this would be the time to like.
They could have been on the forefront.
We adopted this lifestyle. Yes, we do this lifestyle because it's so much that's like open right now. So I'm really surprised. Unless it's just not true, but I don't think that's the case.
If in a couple weeks they do step up to the forefront and try to pioneer this shit, y'all better give us our credit. Y'all heard it first on No More 9 to 5.
And then if it's not true,
I don't think they're cat like that.
Right. I don't think for what?
You know what I'm saying? Because that's slander. I feel like you get legal action for shit like that.
Yeah. And they're not gonna see that, boy.
Right. Because it's true.
You know what I mean? I'm really surprised. And I don't know. I guess Will and Jada has never been like, I don't have relationship goals.
Yeah.
But if I did, I don't think they would be on my list. You know, because I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like you gotta have that shit for yourself.
Yeah. If anybody's relationship goes, my mom, my dad.
Yeah.
But like people like B and J or Kim and Kanye, or I'm not, because
So,
marriage is a marriage. You don't know. You definitely don't know what them motherfuckers be going through. My mom and dad, I've seen firsthand. You know, but. And
I feel like when because this came up in that same conversation, you know, with some colleagues or whatever, I feel like all that traditional shit and all that gold shit started to put unneeded pressure on what y'all got. Now y'all living up to this, y'all living up to that, and it's gonna eventually break because your shit ain't built like that. You can't just goddamn because this is what everybody else did and you supposed to do this and supposed to do that.
And at the end of the day, you don't know what they've been through, what they have done, how they got there, who forgave who.
That shit worked for them. At the end of the day.
Exactly.
That shit worked for them, and they raising their kids in a loving home. You feel me?
And their kids are so like mentally 75. From where we sit, so much wisdom.
Yeah, I ain't gonna speak on them because I don't know them, but from where I'm sitting, they do seem a few.
They're not like regular children their age.
Straight up.
I feel like I can call them children now because, you know, I'm almost 30.
Now.
These kids.
God damn it.
They're like 24.
Right. But, so something else that I found out worth investigating that might be some of our closing stuff. So in that same conversation, I found out, you know, Woodstock, like North Atlanta, right? Apparently some shit, and I'm speculating, and I ain't trying to air nobody out, because I'm like, damn, that's kind of cool that this is true or whatever for them. But like, it's some like Pineapple Club shit, right? So like, so like some people, you know, in the Woodstock area, and apparently this is common knowledge.
Like a whole sex place you could just go.
But nah, so it's like fucking real Stepford Wives neighborhood, real mom, you know, everything laid out like Truman Show type shit. But certain people got a pineapple on their porch, or they might pick up a pineapple and put it at a certain place in their buggy at the grocery store to let other people know, we down. See me on the 31st at Jim's house. We all fucking, you feel me? Yeah. Some crazy shit like that.
You know.
I mean, it's worth investigating. I'm gonna do a little research. I ain't trying to get initiated, but
nothing has white people.
But then, you know, it's a bunch of different people in Woodstock. It's kind of like a little mecca on some melting pot. It's definitely more white people. I ain't gonna cap. But you know, that's like, whoa, in your backyard, you know?
Yeah, I don't think that's that surprising though. Sex is not taboo anymore.
It's not taboo.
Sex is not taboo anymore.
But
like a secret society, that's kind of taboo. But the whole sex thing is definitely not.
But to think that it's a whole neighbor, like a whole, you know, Woodstock.
The fact that you can go to a whole real business and have sex somewhere. It's called trapeze. You can just go there and have sex with people.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, after it's a whole establishment that has not been shut down because it's not illegal, I don't think it's not surprising to me.
But it's still, we talking about that one place. I mean, you still got to put it in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, now granted, the world is changing, and yeah, I think they may get to the forefront talking about Will and Jada. They may come to the forefront of this shit and this new lifestyle shit, and then Monique gonna come out like, I've been saying that. Can you remember that? She was like, yeah, Monique and her husband got like an open relationship that she said she wanted. Because, you know, she never wanted to feel like, you know, again, putting that extra stigma and pressure on your shit. You feel me?
I feel like you don't have to put pressure on it.
I mean, but
the only way you feel pressure is because you did it. You know, you can, you know, the outside people like, you should do what you should do. But at the end of the day, you ain't gotta do that shit.
I mean, yeah, but you can't deny that, you know, that shit be real for certain people. Like, yeah, we straight because we come from families where, not to just say we out here, but, you know, we can handle shit within our unit, right? A lot of people can. A lot of people take that outside shit and run with it, you feel me? So
yeah, and I know, like, that's why, like, people be like, don't want to get married or afraid of marriage or stuff like that because they feel this and that. And like, and I'm not saying that marriage is not hard, but people like, you have different challenges when you get married. We've been together for 9 years. We went through a lot of challenges, and I'm not saying we're not gonna go through no more. Right. But the challenges I feel like will come and rear its head like with a child. And that's a different kind of thing. But as far as like regular relationship, the fact that we said I do and signed a piece of paper don't change what we've been doing already to me.
Exactly. You know what I mean? That's what I was trying to stress.
It don't like your trust and faith step up 2 more levels because you signed a piece of paper.
Right.
Nah, we've been working on that shit and we'll continue to work on this shit.
Right.
It's not going to, in my mind, I've never been married. I don't think it's going to get harder. It's going to be the same. We just got to work on it.
Yeah. And that was kind of my point that I, earlier on when I was saying, like, people got all these you supposed to's that come with your shit. And it's like, it sounds good in the beginning, but man, the longer you in it, bro, you gonna die by them supposed to. Your shit is not gonna last with them supposed to. You gotta understand y'all 2 different people who going through 2 separate lives that y'all chose to do it together, but it's still 2 separate lives and 2 separate sets of emotion.
Yeah.
So you gonna feel the way you feel about this and that. You feel me? Like, I feel like if you keep it on the forefront in the front end. And again, I don't think, I'm just ready to goddamn hop into no open shit by any means. But I do understand, like, if you keeping that shit on the forefront, bruh, it do, in a Will and Jada situation where y'all moving around, it do kind of give you a kickstand, in my opinion.
I mean, I think it helps out. I mean, if you say, cheating versus open relationship.
Right.
And you really want to be with this person.
Right.
I would pick the open relationship, but I ain't saying that it's gonna be peachy keen or peachy keen.
Yeah, it comes with
it's gonna be sticky.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sticky. It may get complicated. You may not fuck. You're gonna be jealous, maybe envious. You may whatever. It's going to happen.
I mean, fuck it.
At some point.
We definitely gonna post this on No More 9.5 as IG. I would love to hear from some people. If y'all in an open relationship, y'all know anybody, just how they make it work. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like you tried it, you know what I'm saying, and it didn't work? I ain't gonna get into our life, but shit, did it work for y'all and you tried it, or did it not work, and for what reason? I definitely want to pick some brains, because this is some shit that's, it's kind of been taboo in the past, but to your point, it's so much shit going on that it's time to talk, you feel me?
Yeah, I will go ahead and be on record and say that it's not for me.
Right.
Because I'm selfish and what's mine is mine. And if you want an open relationship, then why get in a relationship?
That's what I was hearing a lot of too.
But that's greedy.
I'm saying,
in my opinion.
But I feel like it's greedy if you just like, I just gotta fuck everybody in the world, or I'm just trying to start a whole thing with everybody in the world. But I do understand, like, it's more to me and you than physical. It's way more to where, like,
I don't think open relationship equals just sex, babe. You gotta think about the emotional. You going to have sex, but I'm gonna tell you, in my mind, my theory, if I have an open relationship with somebody, a relationship is not just we in a relationship and I'm having sex with this other person. I'm also in a relationship with this other person. And my feelings may fade for you because my feelings may grow for them.
But that's
whatever. It's not just sex.
So I guess that come down. Yeah, I guess that come down to defining what you call an open relationship too. Because I feel like an open relationship is whenever you're doing anything outside of your main relationship.
Sex, dates, whatever.
But that's the thing. I wouldn't even take it to no dates and no emotional shit like that.
You just got a concubine.
Well, shit.
That's a whole different situation.
But it's still some open shit. You know what I'm saying? It's still like some next level. Like, I feel like if I was ever to enter into some shit like that, I'm not about to be dating nobody. It'll just be some physical shit. Like if I was doing this or that.
If I'm I'm fine with one sex person because people got shit. I ain't got time for that. I can get pregnant. No, this is stupid. Why are we doing this? Now I got kids with this guy, but I'm still with this guy. That's dumb.
Respect.
But whoever did it, that's good for y'all. It's dumb to me. But in my mind, it's emotional as well.
I mean, I guess it's levels to this shit.
August loved.
Right.
Jada.
Yeah, it's definite levels to this shit. We'll stay tuned. We'll pop back in here as shit develops, because I mean, this is an interesting little thing. It's got us rambling. I mean, we stick to the 30 minutes, but I feel like we'll definitely, keep going about this. And again, bro, No More 9.5. Put us some comments. We about to get super active again. We've been working on some different shit and just elevating, financially and skill level wise. But we about to get way back into it, and we really want to hear from y'all. So it's about that sign out time, babe. You got anything you want to add before we kick it to the folks?
Really think about it before you decide to get in an open relationship, because they can deny your ass.
Right.
You never did this shit.
So we're doing interviews out here looking like
a fool.
Yeah, but shit. Stay blessed, you know what I'm saying? Keep working on your goals and getting to the next level, focusing on that No More 9 to 5, and as always, don't fucking fall.